In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to set up your SSH key on your local machine and connect it with your personal GitHub account. So in the last video, we did a basic development environment setup, and we installed Git onto our Windows machine. So if you want to check that out, then refer to my previous video. So as part of our initial dev environment setup, we installed the hyper terminal. So I'm going to open that, and I will be using that to set up my SSH keys. So the first step is for us to check if we already have any SSH keys installed on our machine or not. So for that, we need to be in the home directory. And the easiest way to navigate to your home directory is by entering CD and then press enter. So no matter where you are, once you do that, you will end up in your home directory. And then you can check the path by doing pwd, which is present working directory. And now you're inside C drive, users, and then whatever your username is. So what we're looking for now is a directory called .ssh inside our home directory. So we can do either ls-la, which is going to list everything and then look for it. The other way is you can directly try to list everything from within the .ssh directory, and then we should get an error because there is no such file or directory yet. So now we're going to generate our SSH key, and the command we're going to use for that is ssh-keygen space -t RSA space -b 4096 capital C, and then you want to enter your email address inside the quotation marks. Now this email address should be the one from your GitHub. So if you haven't created an account on GitHub, so I would advise you to do that first. So we enter our username, email address here, and then press enter. So now we get the message generating public private RSA key pair, and then enter file in which you want to save the key. So this one should be your home directory, followed by a slash, and then the .ssh folder. And then that everything else after that should be okay. So if it's matching this, then you just press enter. For the passphrase, you can add a passphrase if you like, but I'm just gonna leave it as default. And same passphrase again, enter. So now what's happened is that we have generated a key pair, and we have actually created a new folder called .ssh. So we can check that out by navigating into .ssh folder, and let's do an ls-la on that. And here you can see the two files. So we have an id_rsa file and then id_rsa.pub file. So one of these is the private key, and the other one is the public key. So the reason for having two keys is that the public key is going to be stored in your remote origin, which is going to be GitHub for us. It can be any other remote hosting repository service, such as, Bitbucket or Gitlab or anything like that. But in our case, our remote origin is going to be GitHub. And then our local machine is going to keep the private key. And then whenever we want to make a communication between our local machine and GitHub, it's going to check the private and the public key pairs. And after matching them, only then our request will be allowed forward. Okay, now in order for us to actually use this SSH key, we are going to use this command, so I'm just going to copy paste that in. And the command is basically eval $SSH agent -s, and then you are just going to get agent PID back like this. And now what we want to do is we basically want to add our private key to this agent. So this basically runs the agent on our machine. So our agent, SSH agent, is now running after this command. And now we will tell it to add, SSH add, and we want to give it the location of our private key. So we'll do ~.ssh/ and then we saved it in our ID_RSA. So our private key is saved here. And that's it. We press enter and we get the message identity added. Now on the flip side, we want to actually copy our public SSH key and we actually want to add it into our GitHub account. So for that, we can do cat tilde/.ssh/ ID_RSA.pub. So that is my public key. And I'm going to copy paste this into my GitHub's SSH key section. So I've copied my key and then I'm going to head over to GitHub. And if you press your profile picture, go to settings, and then down into the SSH and GPG keys, press on new SSH key. The key type should be authentication key. The title, you can give it my Windows key or whatever you want. And then in the key section down here, you just paste whatever you copied from your public key section. And once that's done, you just press add. And then you add your password. So just do that. And now you have a new key added onto your GitHub account. So in order to test the connection, let's test it. So let me clear the screen and let's test this connection. So we can do SSH-T git at github.com. We'll do yes. And now we've got our key permanently added to GitHub. So the first time you run that command, it basically checks the authenticity and then it asks you whether you want to continue. And after you do yes, it basically adds the key pair to the list of known hosts. And if you run this command again, then you can see your username here and you have successfully authenticated. So now basically our SSH key setup is done. And now we are basically able to pull and push code to our GitHub repository. So let's take a quick example. So if I go to my repositories, I'll just pick a random one. Let's just do whatever. So you want to come here down to code and then SSH and then copy this. So once that's copied, let's head over back to the home directory, and I created a new directory called code. So let's navigate into that. And let's go into the projects folder, and that is currently empty. So here, what I want to do is I want to git clone the repository that I just copied. So that should now clone that particular project into my projects folder, and there we have it. And now we are on the develop branch and we have all our files over here, and then whatever changes we make, we will be able to push back to this repository as well. So let me do a quick push. So first, let's open this project in code. So this is an old project that I was working on, and let's make a change to the README section here. Yeah, let's just make very small change. Yeah, demo application. So yeah, we made a small change that should be picked up by Git. If we do a Git status, we can see our change here. Now let's do git add readme. And let's commit that. So let me clear the screen. And let's just, do test change. Okay, so when we try to commit, we get the error author identity unknown. Please tell me who you are. So you're also going to have to set this up the first time you make a commit. And we can run these commands to set this up quite easily. So copy paste that, give it your email, and then do the same thing for the name. And be sure to change that global username. Okay, now that's set. Let's check our status. Now let's just commit the test change again. So now we have successfully committed, and if we check the status, and now we should be able to do a git push origin develop. And there we go. So our change has been pushed. And this is only possible because we have established the SSH connection through our SSH keys. So if we check our README now, that is the small change that I did over there. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. And thanks for watching.